Welcome to the Latin MedTech Leaders Podcast, a conversation with leaders who have succeeded or plan to succeed in Latin America. Please subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Stitcher, etc. Today, our guest is Mona Oliveira. She is one of the creators and founders of the startup called BioLinker in Brazil, which in 2019 was awarded as one of the top 500 best biotechnology startups in the world. So I'm very pleased, Mona, to have you here. It's an honor to speak to you today and to find out from you what experiences you've had in Brazil, what best practices you can tell our listeners, and for newer companies outside of Brazil in the US or Europe. Brazil is kind of a mystery. It's a huge market. It's a sexy country,
Yeah.
but it's difficult to navigate. It has this reputation of it's a very protective country. You have to spend a lot of time, the bureaucracy of Brazil and all that. So I wanted to talk about all that today. So let's get started.
Uh,
How are you doing today?
Thank you, Julio, for the invitation. I'm very happy to be here to tell for all about how is doing here in Brazil, how
Okay.
is do business in Brazil.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like a very big adventure to be here, but
Yes. Yeah.
it's my country, so I know a lot of things about here. It's amazing too.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
So
sure. I'm sure you have a lot of accumulated experience that you want to share today. And I appreciate that. Thank you again. All right, Mona. So let's get started talking about your journey. How is it that you got to where you are today? How is it that you got to start BioLinker? What's the story behind all that?
all right, hi. I am academic, like I am scientist. So I starting my journey to be an academic, learning a lot. Like I did medical veterinary for graduation. After that, I did master in biotechnology and Ph.D. in biochemistry nanotechnology. It was a double degree between Brazil and Slovenia. So I, I went to Slovenia, and then everything changed in my mind. Since the beginning, I love to do translational science. Like I want to do applied sciencing to change the words. I think every scientist love this idea, but someone's like more theoretical. But I really appreciate to do some applied science, and in Brazil, the scientist professional, it's very difficult to be a professional scientist. It's a closed place, and there aren't a lot of position in industry. It's always in university the position to be scientist, and then you need to be professor too. And then I love both things, but when I went to Slovenia, I married a Slovenian guy, and then my life changed a bit, and it was the point that I learning about companies, startup companies, startup ideas, and startup accelerations process. And I always have a lot of ideas, and but and that time BioLink bird like starting to make the process to accelerate it and get money for BioLink, and we got um, um, like a oh my gosh, I lost the word now. We got investment from Rebel Buyer. They want to invest $100,000 on the idea of BioLink, and for me, this was like open the door. It was a new word. I even doesn't know how to do PT, and how to talk business. I was a pure scientist for the lab, doing in focus how to do things, not um, how to solve problems. It's a different way to solve problems, but when you are scientists, we are focused on a process, and how to improve process and how to discover new details. And it was exactly that point that BioLinker start. And but unfortunately, we didn't went to this investment in Ireland. And then I apply in Brazil to get money, and BioLinker back to Brazil, and I coming with my family, and we start the company here in São Paulo. So we got a lot of investment here because we are very innovative. We are only the only company in Latin America doing this. So what we do, we working to accelerate the protein process. So we have a cell-free protein expression systems. It's owner for the company. We develop a cell lines that improve the process for protein expressions, protein folding with toxic proteins. We have a very fast at moment for Latin America uh, production of protein. So we did solutions since the DNA to proteins. We designed the DNA, designed the process to soluble proteins, and increase the width of expressions and facilitate to purification process in the end. That's very important because this is responsible for 70 percent of fail in production of proteins. It's not an easy way. It's not there aren't easy way to make proteins. Proteins are very difficult. Every different protein you have a different protocol. It's hard. It need specialized people. So we're planning to automatize this process in the future. That's why we got this award in Paris, and we still working on this now.
Okay, okay. And so the company is now a Brazilian company. You guys produce these protein, right? That's the end
Yeah,
product for the local market, or are you also exporting to other countries as
yeah,
well?
we starting exporting now. I see for other companies, but this is in beginning process to
Okay.
export
Is it a market
for
for that outside of Brazil?
oh yes,
Really?
it's a
Okay.
huge market for only for service for proteins like we we do it now. It's $63 billion the market,
Wow.
but each protein can have a year only market.
Wow.
Like when we did antibodies expressions, for example, for one company, this antibody synthetic only have a year own market, like $3 billion for this, or even more, 70 millions, like that. For cell-free protein expression, the market is smaller. They are a new technology. It's 260 million the market right now, but it's growing, and we want to be one. Like it's very nice. It's amazing technology. Like they are very fast to make protein, but it's still not scale up process because of um, the reagents is still expensive, and we need to improve some points here. It's like a research project yet. We are working out for the future, but this technology will enable a lot of things in the future. Probably that's amazing. It's I love it.
Hmm. No, I can tell you love it. Yeah. So is it just you? You have a co-founder? What's the structure of the company?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Yeah.
We do not do anything alone.
Yeah.
I'm this girl like that. I love people. I'm leader. Like I love to convince people, and I have amazing people around me. It's like I always say that I am nothing without you, and you nothing without
Sure.
me.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Agree. Yeah.
Right now, we are three partners, founders,
Okay.
but we got investor recently in December, so
Okay.
he coming to the partners
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
But we are 11 people, 11 amazing people working every day to make
11.
protein
Okay.
for Brazil.
For
Whole
Brazil.
Brazil.
Wow. Okay, so let's talk about Brazil. Let's talk about the industry. Let's talk about the regulatory challenges. All that. What's the process with the Anvisa? Anvisa is famous for being difficult, right? And bureaucratic, and everything takes forever, and corrupt sometimes, right? There's corruption.
Yeah,
That's what people hear in the United States, in
it's
Europe. So
political.
political,
uh,
exactly. It's very political. So let's talk about that. What are your thoughts on visa?
okay. It's like after COVID-19, they're starting to be more transparent, and also they open channels to communication with them. So it starts to be more clear to me how they work, and not so. It's like there are a lot of gossip about Envisa. So, but I don't like gossip, so I starting to dig in to discover better how this really work, because it's like, oh, you're worrying about everything that say a visa or regulatory process, even that I didn't have education for that, so it's like that I'm learning every day. But it's like you said before, um, I hear a lot of history about Invisa. Right now, we are with new plant that is bigger for regulatory process, and then I start to talk in this channel with Invisa. They answer me well. They do all instructions. For at the moment, my relationship is going well. And I really advise to everyone that come here trying to use these channels to communication directly with Anvisa if it's possible. Of course, it's in Portuguese, so you need translating. But they answer very fast in 2 days right now. I guess it's because of COVID 19. After COVID 19, they starting to make more fast process and more clear process too. And I am very happy because it's like there are a way to discover better, not be it's like you don't have a lot of informations in the website, but
Yeah,
if you have
exactly.
any
I
doubt,
noticed that. I noticed
exactly,
that. Yeah.
any doubt, you go in the channel and writing
Oh, and they answer
about,
you. Really?
exactly,
Okay,
they answer
okay.
you exactly.
Yeah, I found that very weird. I
No,
spent
it's
about
weird.
an hour and a half or so looking for something for medical device regulations, and for the cadastro, the registro,
Registro.
registro.
Isso.
Yes, yeah. And I couldn't find much information. I found more information in English than in Portuguese.
All
I
right.
mean, from other sources,
Okay.
not from Anvisa. So anyway, but your product is regulated by Anvisa, so you have to gone you you've gone through the regulatory approval process of your manufacturing. How does it work?
Right now, we are regulated for CTN Bio, that biosafety.
Okay,
Um, they call National Center of Biosafety Security in
okay,
Brazil. They
okay,
regulate all OGM, or organism genetically modified,
okay,
that we
okay,
working on. So we have this number and everything,
okay,
and conform with them. And any other product we do, they know. For Envisa, we starting to have some products now to start to be regulated for Envisa. That's in the field of diagnostic process because after COVID-19, we the company was um, catch up for to working to do COVID-19 testing. Um, so for this kind of product, we need Anvisa
Sure.
registrations.
Okay, I see.
So
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
why I started to talk with Anvisa
oh,
and
I
trying
see.
to,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but it's in process. So I would say that for now my experiences is going well. They answer me back. For example, I didn't know and there are any information about how many tests you need to do to validate your test in Anvisa, for example. So I wrote them, they answered me with the number and the process, and it was very clear for me. And then it was more easy than people talked to me
Really?
before.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I really advise just talk with them directly.
Okay, okay, okay. Through a
That's
translator.
work in Brazil. Yeah, this is work in Brazil. People gossip a lot, so
Yeah,
let's try to
yeah.
talk exactly. And also in Brazil, this is some cultural problem. Uh, when you don't have this regulation very clear, the problem is even the people that work inside that sometimes doesn't know how,
Yes, yeah.
and they give you information wrong. Oh, one people say yes, you can do. Other people say
Yeah,
no, you cannot.
exactly. Yeah.
And
Contradictory information inside the agency. Yeah,
inside of this,
yeah.
this is
Mm,
complicated. For ranger,
okay.
I
For
have
a
one partner.
foreigner, yeah.
The foreigner,
Okay.
it's crazy. They say no, it's not possible.
Wow. Wow. Interesting. Huh. All right.
So
So I guess there are plenty of regulatory consultants in Brazil. If a company wants to do business in Brazil, they should probably hire the services of a regulatory consultant to deal with that, with a visa and
yeah,
bureaucracy and all
yeah, exactly,
that. Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
All right.
Be
So
easy.
yes, yeah, yeah. So let's talk about doing business in Brazil in general, starting a company, having employees. How is it? I mean, is it difficult? Is it bureaucratic?
Okay.
What do you think about it?
Now, for open a company here is very fast. The process, like I think, is uh, it's still a problem. The fees, accountability process,
Accounting.
accounting. Okay,
Yeah,
counter process is crazy. I'm
really.
yeah, I'm PhD, but I don't know nothing about this. For me, I still learning about. Um, it's a very complicated the count process, but there are plenty of counters that work into you
Yeah.
with different prices. It's very important uh, to know a little bit about because they do some wrong process too. So I really
Hmm.
advise. I have a three before I finish with one that
Really,
know
you
how to
tried three
work.
accountants before landing on the
Yeah,
one that you use today. Wow.
yeah,
Huh.
and then still we're used today doesn't know how to because we're working with this, government invest projects.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
there are different process to do declarations.
Oh
They
yes,
don't
yeah, yeah.
know, and they don't
Hmm.
know about my product. That's really
Exactly.
innovated, and I have a issue with this. But if you're working with not innovative process,
It should be
maybe it's more
straightforward.
easy.
Yeah, easier. Yeah, okay, okay. So you're receiving funds from the Brazilian government,
Yes.
and is there a lot of funds? Is there a lot of support from the government to innovate, like what you're
Yes.
doing?
Yes.
Really? Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For São Paulo, the state that have more fundings for that.
Oh, because it's also the richest state. Is
Yeah,
that correct?
the rich.
It's the biggest and the richest state. Rio de
Yeah.
Janeiro is in another state, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And,
Yeah.
and, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I've traveled to Brazil. I spent about a year dealing with Brazil, going back and forth many times. I even spent about 3 months in Brazil. I traveled to Rio, Sao Paulo, Salvador for Carnival, and
I'm
but
from
it looked,
Salvador.
yeah, Salvador, very very nice in Bahia,
Yeah.
Bahia, and Brazil seems to have like a one big city, and that's Sao Paulo, right? Rio de Janeiro is not. It's more
Not
like fun, the beach and the music and the carnival is not really a business city per se. Is that correct?
yeah. São Paulo is it's a megalopoly.
It's
It's
a
exactly.
megalopolis. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and everything happens here. You can connect well for business. I
yeah, yeah.
really advise to be here
In
because
Sao Paulo. Yeah,
it's easy, logistical, and
yeah.
everything's here. Um, but sometimes, right now, for example, the federal government, want to make more business in Amazon, so they start to give a lot of money and project to companies to go there. For
Okay, to
example,
incentivize companies
yeah,
to build
exactly.
plants or set up their shops there. Okay,
Exactly, but you
interesting.
have a lot of problems for logistic to
Yeah,
deliver
logistics. Yeah,
products
exactly. Yeah,
from
because
there.
everything is by plane. The roads are not that good, or there are no roads at all. Okay.
So you need to prepare for that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
probably.
yeah. Okay, I
Yes,
see.
for São Paulo, you don't have these problems. They're very easy and connecting, and it's usually
Okay.
I choose here because I got this government investment. So we actually got 1 million of reais. It's about to $2,000, I guess.
Two
Yes,
hundred thousand. Two
two
hundred
hundred
thousand.
thousand.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, $200,000. That's a good amount.
yeah,
Yeah, very
yeah,
good amount. So I guess I imagine there's a lot of bureaucracy. You have to account for every single penny. You have to report
yeah.
to the back to the
Exactly
government
that.
what you're doing with
Exa-
every single penny, right?
exactly, exactly.
Hmm.
Every single. But they have like a stages of
Yes. Yeah.
investment process
Yeah.
for your
Okay.
idea. So we got actually 5 times. We actually got now more 1 million now, because we got another round of investment, private investment. So they do a complementary investment for company that innovative and bring innovation for the state. So they complementary in the same amount of investment for you.
Okay.
So
They match.
they
They
match it
match.
if you
Okay. I
match.
see. Okay. Interesting. Very good.
Yeah,
All
for
right.
us is amazing.
No, no, good. I'm very happy to see your success. Very happy to hear that the government of Brazil has funds to support companies like yours, innovation, startups. That's great because Latin America is going through a transition, Mona, where there are uh, switching to a knowledge economy, or they're trying to do something about it. They're trying to diversify their economy, and countries like Brazil has so much talent, so much um, educated individuals that it's really a shame that they don't have the opportunities that other people have in the United States. But now with this global world, things are a little easier. People have more access to information and all that. So anyway, so let's talk about trends in Brazil. What's happening in Brazil? What trends are relevant to our discussion today? As you know, this podcast is about helping U.S., European, or foreign companies that are
Okay.
looking to do business in Latin America. They want to do business in Brazil. They want to know what's going on in Brazil. What political, social trends do you see happening there?
Yeah, trains is Brazilian is very agri-tech revolution here. For
Agriculture,
agriculture. Yeah, yeah, agriculture
agriculture,
is
yeah, yeah. That's a new terminology for me. It's a new industry, right? Agri-tech. I didn't know about it
agri-tech.
until recently. Agri-tech. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, they call like that
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
startup that working for improving agriculture
Yes.
process. So
Agriculture.
even
Yeah.
BioLinker is agri-tech.
Oh, you guys are in that sector. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, we have a customer from
Okay.
this
Okay.
market
Market, yeah.
because
Mhm.
you can use proteins on biopesticide. You can use proteins for everything. So we can play with a lot of market. So we are there. It's really a lot of investment for that right now. It's a trend. It's now it's starting. They starting the investor here is starting to look in biotech too. That I'm very happy with this.
Yes,
I
yeah.
receive a lot of calls now. That's
Really? From investors
yeah.
trying
I
to.
feel so special.
Wow, congratulations.
That's amazing. But
Yeah.
3 years ago, I
It
knocked
was the other way
every
around.
door.
Exactly. It was different. Yeah. Okay, I see.
And nobody understand. Like, hey, come
Yeah.
on, what's this?
Yeah,
Just give
yeah.
him money. No, I don't
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
it.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, but you've proved yourself. I mean, you proved that the technology works, that there's a market for what you're doing, and you know what exactly what you're doing.
Yeah,
Excellent.
huge market that's growing a lot. So the bioeconomic is an incredible market. It's amazing. So that's a trend for the world, bioeconomy. But for Brazil, if you have a solution for this agtech process, the agtech revolution here is really huge, and you probably have a lot of door open for you. It's the easy way for a startup company here, but also biotech. It's a necessity for everywhere. So
Yes.
Latin America need a lot of biotech here. So we are open to do cooperations with any company that want to come in here to join
Excellent.
us to this revolutions of bio.
Okay. Okay. And has
Other train. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, go ahead. No, I was going to ask you about all the trends, about
Yeah.
political trends. I hear that the left is very strong in Brazil now. What's happening?
Yeah, it's election time this year. So this years we have two important moments in Brazil. One is the World Cup that Brazilian
Yes.
really, really love. It. The World Cup is always a phenomenal process here, and the other is the election time. So we need to. I don't know how it's going in the next 4 years, uh, but probably we have a new president for next 4 years.
Okay.
So
Okay. All right. Hmm.
and in political time, in election times, everything can happen.
Yes. Yeah. 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 But I hear that the left is very strong, right, in Brazil right now. Hmm. Same in
Yes.
Colombia, same in Peru, same in other
Yeah.
countries. Yeah. Yeah. Look at what's happening in Peru. It's very unstable. Now, I don't know if you've been following the news, but Peru is very unstable. They want to get rid of that president. It's too bad. I
Yeah.
mean, for investors,
Exactly.
for newer companies, for foreign companies to have political instability is not a good thing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So probably we're waiting after the election, see how we
Yeah.
be, and then coming.
Okay. Okay. Any
Yeah, for
other trends you
us,
want to talk about, Mona, before we sign off?
I think about yeah, we are very happy that um, dollar now the how to
The
say it, the
currency
exchange,
exchange
yeah, the
ratio.
currency stands exactly. It's favorable for us.
Okay. It's
It's
February. Oh,
starting
okay.
to
The dollar is weak. Is that what you're
yeah
saying? The dollar is very weak.
yeah
Okay. Okay. So the real is high.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Excellent. That's good for you. Not for foreign investors necessarily.
Uh,
Okay. All
yeah,
right.
but for us now, we are planning to get a new investment CEA till the end of the year, and then probably $35 million. I am focused on that. I want to grow in the company to be
$25
global.
million for your company. Wow.
35, yeah.
35,
35.
$35 million.
35.
Wow, Mona,
Yeah.
congratulations. That's a big
No,
amount.
I want.
Oh, you
Wait.
want? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm working on that now.
Okay.
With
Foreign investors or domestic
for
investors?
angel investors,
Foreign
exactly. I'm
investors.
working.
Wow. Fantastic. Fantastic.
I
Wow.
hope I get.
You really wanna grow the company and take it global, I guess, or at least
Yes,
regional,
exactly.
Latin America. Hmm. fantastic. All right, Mona, we're very close to the end of the show. Do you have any final thoughts or morsels of wisdom or other musings for our listeners? In other words, what would you say to the CEO of a small or mid-sized company from the US or Europe that wants to do business in Brazil? What would be your final words of wisdom?
I would say that here you have a lot of talent people. The people here working a lot, and there are a lot of opportunity too because it's a huge market inside Brazil. So mailing for biotechnology company, we still um, need this inside of Brazil for solution for problems in Latin America that different from the problems from USA. So it's very nice opportunity here to growing for this process. Um, After this, Brazilian, it's a nice country, so you can enjoy the time here, the weather, the nature, the food. Exactly. We have my partner. One of my partners, my husband. He is Slovenia, as I told before. So he loves the
Yes, I'm
weather.
sure. He spoke. He learned Portuguese.
Yeah, he already knew seven
Oh, okay.
language. So
Seven languages.
seven.
Wow, impressive.
Yeah. Slovenia is a small country, so they a lot of people speak a lot of language there. It's amazing.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
see. I see. All right.
it's
Fantastic,
amazing.
Mona. So, thank you so much for being in the show today. It's been a pleasure. It's been a delightful conversation. I'm sure listeners learn a little bit more about Brazil, about your experience, and how can people get in contact with you?
Please, we are in all channels. No, we are Instagram
Okay.
biolinker. Sorry,
BioLinker. Yes. Yeah.
biolinker.tech.
Okay.
We are LinkedIn too.
Okay.
Biolinker, the same
Okay.
biolinker.tech.
Okay.
Um, the Facebook, even the TikTok, BioLink
Okay.
is
Even in
there.
TikTok. All right. Cool.
Yeah, we have a digital presence market. So sometimes the TikTok's not the principal channel to
Yes.
communication, but
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
put
Yeah.
some funny movies there. It's really nice.
Well, Mura, thank you so
Exactly.
much. Bye bye. Thank you for being in
Thank
the
you
show.
too. Bye.